morning, everybody. Meteorologist Mike Slifer in for Scott Haney at 4:42 on Monday morning. We're dealing with some fog again today. Overnight, last night, we had some thick clouds lingering, some fog, some drizzle. Visibility not great right now. 0 miles in Chester, a half mile in Waterbury. But we've got some improvements as you get north in the Connecticut River Valley and across portions of northeastern Connecticut. Also worth mentioning that even outside the immediate shoreline where we have our densest fog being reported, there are still some dense patches scattered throughout inland areas. A live look at our iCam right now in Rocky Hill. We're looking north 10 miles to the Hartford skyline, which is, of course, shrouded in fog. A live look at our iCam right now in Middletown. Here's a perfect example of how there's not as much fog in downtown Middletown. That's what we're looking at right here. Here's Main Street. But notice that the clouds are very low. And even if you head just a little farther north or farther south, you may find yourself in a fog bank. We've got some approaching showers right now. The last 6 hours we've been watching showers start to develop across portions of New York State. These are going to work their way closer to us here. And we are expecting showers to impact portions of the morning commute. Well, we've got an area of low pressure out by the Great Lakes. This is what's driving all of the shower activity. This right here, bringing snow to portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin, where temperatures were in the 90s last week. And while we were also in the 90s last week, we do not have to worry about any wintry weather like that. Inland temperatures today topping out mostly in the mid-60s, at the shoreline closer to 60 degrees. If we can get some clearing in the afternoon, we may even get a town or two to touch on the upper 60s. It really depends on the timing of that sunshine. Futurecast showing the showers here through about 9 or 10 o'clock this morning. And then we see more redevelopment as we get past lunchtime into the early afternoon. Notice how we clear from west to east right before the sun sets. So if we can bump that clearing time up just a little bit, we could end up with a bit more sunshine and bump temperatures up a hair more. Otherwise, expecting to not really see much in the way of clearing until we get through the overnight hours. Behind this front, high pressure starts to settle in. Tomorrow, with low pressure still nearby, we could see a pop-up shower, but still thinking most will stay dry. High pressure developing for Wednesday, though, will certainly help to keep us dry. We do need this bit of rain. It's good for us. Normally dry conditions appearing for a good chunk of the state here on our drought monitor. And it is worth noting that by the time we get to May 8th, our average high climbs to 70 degrees. So keep that number in mind. And the reason for that is because we will be climbing very close to that over the next 7 days, if not above it. We've already had two 90-degree days so far in the Hartford area. The record is 39, set back in 2020. And our pattern is actually going to start to favor more warmth. This warm front lifting over us Thursday. And then by Friday, we start to pump in much milder air with an area of low pressure out over the Great Lakes. So things certainly trending warmer as we get into the end of the week. Forecast high temperatures today, about 60 to 65. Tonight we drop back down into the 40s, mostly cloudy with gradual clearing expected. And then by tomorrow, about 60 inland, breezy, 57 at the shoreline. Bit of a cooler morning on Wednesday. Thursday, though, pumping up the warmth back into the mid and maybe even upper 70s Friday if we can get enough sunshine through. However, Caitlin, that means that, as we've seen over the last several weeks, the rain will be back just in time for the weekend.
Oh, that's okay. I think that's okay.
We need it.
The weekend was actually nice. I didn't mind that it was a little dreary. You know,
yeah. It
wasn't the whole time.
Right, right. You didn't have to cancel most outdoor plans.
No, and we were just looking at some video from the Cherry Blossom Festival in New Haven. It looked like people had a great time. Yeah,
people were out there enjoying it, soaking it up. You know, carrying an umbrella around in April, I feel like that's just expected,
well,
right?
April showers.
Right. Bring May flowers, or since we've bloomed so early, just April flowers.
I know. There's flowers everywhere. It's so pretty. So I know. And we were just talking about, because it was so hot last week, all the daffodils are dead already.
Yeah.
So we'll take a little bit of rain. We could use it.
Yes, certainly.
And then it dampens the fire risk, too. So
yes, all sorts of help, but not great if you have to travel.